Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hogue, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
Hi, I'm AJ Hogue, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Go to effortlessenglish.com. Enter your email and get a free copy of my audiobook. effortlessenglish.com. Job interviews. Whoa. Tough. Scary. Stressful. Job interviews, in many ways, are similar to public speaking. And for the same reason, because just like public speaking, job interviews create a lot of nervousness, a lot of stress. And just like with public speaking, when we get stressed, when we get nervous, our communication ability, our speaking ability, even our thinking ability, they all get worse. And so it's very easy to go into a job interview, feel nervous, and do a terrible job, do a terrible performance in the interview. Now, in many ways, job interviews can be even more stressful because if you're interviewing for a job, it means, well, you need a job or you want a job. And so because of that desire for the job or that need for the job, you can have even more pressure and even more stress for yourself. Also with job interviews, there's competition. You know you are competing against a lot of other people who want the same job. You know your answers need to be better than their answers. That can also create a lot of pressure and stress. And this could make a big difference in your life, right? There could be a dream job, a great job for you, but if you don't get it, if you fail the interview, then you get into a job you don't like, and your whole life could become kind of unhappy and miserable. If you succeed in the job interview, you can get a great job, make more money, and have a happier life. So it's very important. Job interviewing is a very important skill. I remember, I'd say my first serious job interviews. I was graduating from university, which already creates some stress, right? And I realized, I need to get a job. I went to the career office at my university, and they helped students, graduating students like me, get job interviews. See, companies would come to our university looking for new employees, especially young employees from college. And you could sign up to interview with different companies. And most of these companies were big companies, IBM, AT&T, large multinational companies. And so I thought, I need a job. I want to make decent money. And so I signed up for a lot of interviews. And during a couple of weeks, I had several interviews. Now, I prepared for the interviews. I read some books about job interviewing and answering questions. And I knew that you had to give a strong, positive answer for each question. And I knew what the common questions would be. We all kind of know some of the common questions. 2 examples. What's your greatest strength? What's your greatest weakness? Right? We kind of expect those 2 questions. And so, of course, I read that, when they ask you about the weakness, that's the dangerous question, right? That you always give a weakness that's really a strength, right? So then I thought of and memorized some good answers for my job interviews. I'm ready. I know how to do this. I'm going to pass these interviews. I'm going to get a lot of job offers. And so, of course, we went in and yes, they did. They asked me, what's your greatest strength? what's your greatest weakness? And I said something like, oh, my greatest weakness is that sometimes I just work too much. I work too hard, and I forget that I need to rest. I need to take a break. Sounds good, right? I thought, yeah, that's a good answer. That's a positive answer. That's a strong answer. Well, after the interviews, I waited. And 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 I got 0 job offers, 0 second interviews. Nobody wanted me. But my answers, they were so good, right? Wrong. Terrible. My answers sucked. Because here's the thing. Every other person was doing exactly the same thing. Everybody gives the same kind of answer to those questions. What's your greatest weakness? Oh, my greatest weakness is that I'm just so awesome. I mean, right? That's basically what that answer says. It's bullshit. It's just a bullshit answer. And bullshit means something that's not true, that's kind of a deception, a lie, not useful. All of that together, the slang word bullshit. It's one of my favorite slang words. My answers were bullshit because the truth is I was not a super hard worker. I was just telling them what I thought sounded good. I didn't even have much job experience at that point. I was bullshitting. To bullshit, using it as a verb, is to lie, to say stuff that's not true, usually to make yourself sound good. So I was bullshitting, and so do most people in job interviews. Most people in job interviews, they're just bullshitting the whole time. Blah, 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 saying the same kind of answers to try to sound good. So you have to think of this, you have to reverse it. Imagine you are a job interviewer. See, I understand this now because I'm a business owner. So now I hire people to do jobs. So now I'm on the other side and I can see, oh my God, there's so much bullshit. All these people, they're all telling me the same crap. I know it's not true. Okay, so you can imagine this guy, he's interviewing, and some middle-aged guy like my age now, and he's interviewing these kids, and all these kids are coming in saying the same. Oh yes, my greatest weakness is just I work too hard, or I just get too focused sometimes. And of course, what this guy's thinking? He's like, oh my God, I've heard this 1,000 times, same answer every time. Right? And he's thinking to himself, oh my God, they're all the same. And he's hoping for one person to walk in that door who's real. That's the first thing he's looking for. He's just going to be real and open and direct and confident. That's what he's looking for, not bullshit. So how do you do it? Well, it took me many, many years to figure out how to be good at job interviewing. It's a big topic, so I'll do more shows about this topic because it's a huge topic. In our Business English Conversations course, we have a whole unit, a couple units about job interviewing. I recommend that course, by the way. We also talk about job hunting, how to find great jobs, how to do resumes that are great. Lots of stuff. Business English Conversations, with an S at the end, businessenglishconversations.com. So, okay, in future shows, I'll tell you how to give some good specific answers to questions. But let's talk about the big picture first, the big general idea. What is a job interview? What is it exactly? How should you think of it? I'll tell you. You should think of a job interview as a sales presentation. Sales presentation. You are selling yourself. You are giving a presentation to sell yourself. What do all good salesmen do? They persuade. They know how to persuade. They are persuasive. And let me tell you now, because I know how to sell now, because I had to learn it with my business. I know how to do it well. The number one thing you need for selling is understanding. You have to have a deep understanding of the person you're selling to. You have to understand what they want. You have to understand their needs. Most of all, you have to understand their problems. This is the mindset you must have when you go into a job interview. Before the interview, right? A week, 2 weeks before the interview. You need to know what is the interviewer's problem or problems. What are their biggest problems? And how can I help to solve them? If you don't know that, you're not going to do well in the interview. You've got a very low chance. If you do know that, and you can answer it well, you've got an excellent chance of getting a job offer. And let me tell you, every hiring manager has problems. How do you find out about the problems? You contact them before the interview and you ask them. See, so many people that are afraid to do this. In job searching, they just do the same thing as everybody else. Send in my application, send in my resume, and then wait and pray. Oh, please, please call me for an interview. And then when they finally get an interview, they do nothing. They just wait for the day. Oh, please, I hope I do well. That's crap. That's not what good salesmen do. Good salesmen do research first. You have to understand the company and the person who is interviewing you. What do they want? What do they need? What are their problems? You must know this. So how do you do it? Well, this is a great way to be different so they notice you. Right? There maybe have hundreds of people sending resumes. You need to be different. You need to stand out as different and better. One way you can do it is by showing them that you are interested to find out what they need, what they want, what are their problems. So you write them or you call them on the phone and you say, hi, my name is AJ. I'll be interviewing with you next week. Before the interview, I would like to just know a little bit more about the position, if that's okay with you. I especially like to know, just what are you looking for? What problems are you hoping to solve? What problems have you had in the past with people in this position? Now, I guarantee not everybody will answer. Some will say, well, I'm sorry, I can't answer that now. You have to wait to the interview. Fine, whatever. At least they'll remember your name, though. They'll still know, that's the person who called me, who made an effort. Right away, you have an advantage over everybody else, even if they won't answer the question. But still, after you call, I would write. Or maybe write first and then call. Don't just do it once, okay? This is another thing that good salesmen know and good marketers know, okay? It's never one time. That's why for advertising, right? Let's say Coca-Cola, a huge, massive billion-dollar company. Do they only do one advertisement per year? Just one? Right? They're just on the big, like say the Super Bowl in America. They show one advertisement and then everybody goes and buys Coke. Of course not. They know that they need a campaign to sell people Coke, to convince them to buy Coca-Cola. They know they need a lot of repetition. So they're going to show lots of ads every day on newspapers, billboards, television, radio. Well, you need to be the same in your job search. So you write them first. I'd like to know more. What are your problems? What are you looking for with this position? What kind of projects will I be working on? That kind of stuff. Write them a couple times before the job interview asking those questions. If they say, I'm sorry, I can't tell you, then write them back. Say, okay, I understand. I'm just trying to understand a little more about your needs because I want to be sure I'm a good fit for you, that I can help you so that I'm not wasting your time in a job interview. This again shows that you are concerned about them. And then, of course, you try calling. Same thing. Now, some hiring managers, some interviewers will answer you. They'll give you some information. Ooh, that's good. Now you know what they're looking for. Now you know what their needs are. You can be more persuasive. See, the whole thing is, the basic idea is this. Most people, when they do a job interview, are thinking about themselves. They're focused on themselves. It's all me, 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 me. I want a job. I want more money. My strengths are this. This is why I'm so good. I. That's what most people do in a job interview. Me, me, me. I. That's bad selling. Bad selling. Great selling is you. A great job interviewer, you, hopefully, is focused on helping the interviewer, helping the company, contributing, solving problems. And so you focus on them. Even during the job interview, you need to politely be the director of that interview so that you're focusing on them. So even in an interview, they say, what's your greatest strength? Most people just answer blindly. Oh, my greatest strength is whatever. I work hard. That's a terrible answer. Here's a better answer. What's your greatest strength? Well, I'd like to answer that question, but I'd like to know a little more first about what skills and strengths are you looking for in this position? What strengths do you feel will contribute the most to this job? You answer with a question. In a job interview, most of them will then give you something. Well, actually, we're looking for someone who can think fast and make decisions. Now you can really give them a great answer. You say, you're looking for someone who can think fast and make quick decisions. Well, in my last job, I was very decisive. I had to make decisions about our budget, right? Whatever, right? You see the difference? You answer blindly just about me, I. It's a weak answer. It's the same as everybody else. But instead, if you ask the question, what are you looking for? What strengths would best serve this position, this job? Something like that. Now you learn something about them, and then your answer is focused on how can you help them? This is a critical, super important mindset change. You must do this first. That's why I'm not teaching you a lot of questions and answers right now, because that's later. You must first do this. You got to change your mindset from not I, you. How can I help them? How can I help you, the interviewer? How can I help you, the company? What are your needs? What are your problems? What projects are you doing? What is your team like? How can I contribute to you and your team and your company? You. I understand you. That's what you want. That's who gets the job. If you can show that you understand them, even if you can show that you're trying to understand them. Like if you're a college kid, it's your first job, they don't expect you to understand business. They know you're full of a bunch of bullshit from school. It's all right. They know it. But they're looking for attitude. They're looking for how you think. They're looking for your mindset. And if you have a mindset of contribution, if you have a mindset of trying to understand them, trying to help them, trying to solve problems, trying to figure out what they're thinking and what they need, man, you will be so different than everybody else. You will get a lot of job offers. I promise you that. Just this mindset change, you will get so many job offers. And the more you do it, the more you get used to it, you'll get better and better and better. Like I said, this is what makes you different. This is the first thing. I'm going to teach you more in future shows, but this is number one. Not I, you. Not I, the company, the interviewer. Shift the focus to them, what they need, what they want, understanding them. All right, so I know it's a challenging thing, job interviews, so I will talk more about it. It's another big topic. We've got some big topics in this 40 in 40 project. Writing is a big topic. Freedom of speech and media propaganda is a huge topic. Public speaking is a big topic. Pronunciation is a big topic. So movie technique lessons, those are big topics. They all need several shows. So don't worry. I'm going to give you more in future shows. But right now, if you're thinking about job interviewing, think about that. Actually, anytime you need to persuade someone, convince them to do something. Don't focus on you. Don't focus on yourself. Focus on them and what they need and want. All right. Free text guides for every Effortless English show. Go to my blog at effortlessenglishclub.com. That's the blog. effortlessenglishclub.com. Go to the blog and get the free text transcripts of this show and all of the other 40 and 40 shows. See you soon. Bye for now.